we're looking forward to it. We're going to spend a little bit of time reflecting on what we did previously in Module 2, Learning Conditions. And there is a link to the Jamboard that's in the presentation. I'm also going to place it in the chat. And we are on the 8th slide. What did you do to follow through with your commitment to Module 2, with learning conditions, and how did that impact your instruction? We'll give you a few minutes to reflect and think back. It was a long time ago, back in October, but think back over the last couple of months. What did learning conditions do, and how did that work out in your classroom?
And just a heads up, we have our 9:45 session started on slide 9, if you want to add your post to slide 9. And if you totally forget what we were doing in Module 2, we have a screenshot of what we covered in Module 2 for learning conditions. That keeps getting moved around.
Yeah. It gets turned and
not understanding.
Resized.
There we go.
That's the problem with Jamboard. You can't lock things at all. Anybody can do anything they want. Good to see so many reflections coming in. They all show up in the upper left corner, so just drag it out to another empty space when you've got yours popped in there. I see people have been using Pear Deck, Google Drawing app, podcasts to demonstrate their learning through Literacy PBL. That sounds really interesting. Planning a deep dive with your digital coach, that's always good to do. Please reach out to us. Jamboard for know what you learn. Flip, formerly known as Flipgrid. Current events, each day in Schoology discussion boards, nice. Screencastify, create videos. Good scaffolding there. Canva for Dia de los Muertos posters. Canva has great posters for just about anything. And also it does video and voice recording. It's amazing. It does just about everything now. Canva and Flip again. Awesome. Thank you for spending a couple of moments with us there on our reflection from Module 2 to remind us what we have been doing. That's always helpful to get back there a little bit. I'd like to welcome everybody to Classroom Technology Integration in Support of Student Experience and Achievement, Module 3, Global Context. There is kind of an unknown contest to see who can have the title with the longest name for the class that they're doing. We're not in first place, but we're right up there. Thank you for joining us in this Module 3. I'd like to introduce myself. I am Matthew Willems. I am a digital coach, mostly for elementary schools.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kaylee Paraccia, and I am a digital coach mostly for middle schools, K-8s, and pathway schools.
Hi, everyone. I'm Felicia Maestas. I am the Senior Manager of EdTech and Library Services.
I'm Luke Mund. I'm the Manager of Educational Technology, and we do have a couple people out on maternity leave doing important work of taking care of brand new babies. So we have Brittany and Drea who are joining us in spirit, and then Brian Dino, one of our other elementary coaches, is doing a session for all CTE teachers in person this morning. So he's not here with us right now, but he has helped us create all of these slides today.
And I am EJ Rodriguez, mostly educational technology coach for high schools.
Hey everybody, I am Peter Douglas. I'm the EdTech specialist, so I support all the coaches and all you guys out in the field.
To ground our work for today, we want to review our equity statement. Racial and educational equity is our collective responsibility. We will achieve equity when we dismantle deeply rooted systems of operation that have historically resulted in inequitable access and distribution of opportunities and resources for those who represent marginalized identities that include race, ethnicity, gender identity, sexual orientation, language, and ability. Our commitment is that we will create conditions where we all belong, are included, have clear purpose or why, and have the autonomy to lead in our respective areas by creating these conditions. We will eliminate the predictability of success or failure for our students and also for our team members. By following these beliefs, then we are going to make sure that every learner thrives, students and adults as well.
And as part of this vision of every learner thrives, DPS believes that educational equity is our collective responsibility. We prepare students for career, college, and life. We create conditions and partnerships where students, families, and team members belong and thrive. And at the center of the DPS experience is the experience of our learners and beyond the classroom. We will create learning environments, pathways, and opportunities that will expand students' experiences of learning, facilitate the pursuits of their passions, and give space for them to flourish as young people ready for a global post-pandemic society. So as adults, we must come together and unite both for one another and for our students. By partnering together, we cultivate opportunities to be more impactful, we build a more supportive environment for one another, and we create the student experience we know that they deserve. We will eliminate ineffective, destructive systems and replace them with equitable, transparent systems that promote engagement and create conditions for our students and adults to thrive. We're committed to fostering meaningful partnerships that elevate the role of our community and reshaping the DPS for the future. And students and adults will know what to expect from us as a system, and we will collaborate to ensure that the student and adult experience is realized. The DPS experience will nurture individuals with diverse identities in our students, adults, and community through intentional development, engagement, and relationships. Which brings us to the overall goal that we are one DPS.
As part of our priority statements this year, we really have two big priorities as academics. There are 10 district-wide priorities, and what we really focus on in academics is two big buckets of grade level texts and tasks and safe and welcoming district for all. You may have heard of school visit teams that are included of central office members, district-wide leadership, and people from other schools. Are going out and on Wednesdays and Mondays visiting schools and really using this as a framework to make sure that our district is actually implementing in schools what we want to do. So our two big buckets, and we're actually ensuring that that's getting into the schools, and if it's not, then we're making changes that we can have of that. It's completely non-evaluative, it's just making sure that our district priorities are actually reaching our students where we want to see. So again, these big buckets are grade level texts and tasks, safe and welcoming district for all. Hopefully you've been hearing these over and over again, and it's just a great reminder as we're coming out of break what our focus is in this school year. To go along with that, we have broken it down into 6 practices, and I love the simplicity of this, and district leadership really wanted to say, well, let's have focus and really just focus on 6 things. So within each of the 2 main buckets, then there are 3 practices that we are focused on this year that we want to see in every classroom and integrated for all of our students. So you can see these 6 practices here, and you'll be hearing about them more in our breakout sessions as we dive deep into what this actually looks like for our students and the instructional practices and the technology supports that we can use to really ensure that our students have grade level texts and tasks and that safe and welcoming environment that they deserve. And there is an opportunity we just want to make you aware of. That this summer there is an additive manufacturing, also known as 3D printing opportunity for teachers to sign up for. This is primarily for high school teachers if you want to dive into it, but it also can be available for middle school and elementary depending upon your role to really learn how 3D printing and additive manufacturing is being used in industry and helping prepare students for that. So this is a cohort that's going to come up in the summer. Apply for it now in January if you're interested in it. There is a stipend for completing the entire program, so it is extra work, but it is great to have that extra stipend. This is in collaboration with Colorado School of Mines, who has been partnering with DPS for a few years now and other metro area districts to provide really great learning resources and industry-based skills for our students and teachers as we go along. So that's just an opportunity if you're interested. Links in the chat and information is here in our slide deck.
This slide is just a quick reminder about the District Academic Technology Menu, or ATM. As educators, we are charged with protecting our students' data privacy. So if you are using any tools, online tools that aren't kind of district provided like Schoology, Seesaw, Canva, Pear Deck, please go to the ATM. There's a video here you can watch that steps you through the process of kind of reporting, I'm using this tool with my students so that we're covering ourselves. We're complying with the Colorado State bill, which requires that school districts have a process and procedure to protect student data privacy.
And to reground us today, our module is focusing on global context and dismantling systems of power and privilege for ourselves, our communities, and for especially our students. How does that work in our classrooms? Let's take a look at the next slide. This is a focus on DPS practice number 5, helping students develop the knowledge, skills, and values they need to become social critics and making reflective decisions and implement their decisions in effective personal, social, political, and economic actions. There is a key action that's connected to that practice, and that's using feedback as a part of the culture of the classroom. Teaching interpersonal skills of having peer feedback crosses lines of power. And this feedback is from teacher to student, from student to teacher, and from student to student.
So based on that breakdown of feedback, we have 3 strategies focused on different ways of getting feedback. And we also have a strategy for our teacher librarians and tech teachers. Strategy 1 will be focusing on getting feedback from students, both checks for understanding and classroom climate. So getting feedback from the students for teachers to adjust their instructions. Strategy 2 is feedback from teacher to students. Strategy 3 is opportunities for peers to give one another feedback. And strategy 4, again, is time for our teacher librarians and tech teachers to share effective instructional strategies and projects. So each of these sessions will be around 60 minutes. You choose which of the sessions based on your area of interest or how you'd like to push your practice. There will be at least one coach in each breakout room. Our goal is to give you at least like 15 minutes in the breakout room to workshop and walk away with something created or a next step for your classroom. And then after our breakout rooms, we'll be coming back at 11 o'clock into this main room to return to our Jamboard to stamp our next steps and to wrap up as a whole group. So in a moment, we will be dropping our breakout room links into the chat box. Again, strategy 1 is getting feedback, students giving feedback to the teacher. Strategy 2 is teachers giving feedback to the students. Strategy 3 are our students giving feedback to one another. And strategy 4 is for our tech teachers and teacher librarians to share some current projects and strategies that they're working on.